My name is Alex, a software engineer with a life that could be described as ordinary, at least until that fateful Thursday. It was a day like any other, with the morning sun casting its warm glow on the city as I made my way to work. Little did I know that the world as I understood it was about to change forever. It started as a whisper among the crowd, a shared hallucination, we thought, a shimmering tear in the sky, like a glitch in reality. I remember laughing it off, attributing it to too many late nights staring at code on my computer screen. But when I looked up, I saw it too, a spectacle that defied explanation. The sky split open, revealing an otherworldly anomaly. It was mesmerizing and terrifying in equal measure. The streets were filled with a mix of awe and fear as people pointed towards the heavens. Then they appeared massive ships, unlike anything I had ever seen, descending with a silent grace that belied their ominous intention. Panic ensued as the reality of the situation dawned on us. These were not benevolent visitors. The sporadic, destructive beams emanating from their ships made their intentions clear. Buildings crumbled, and screams filled the air, creating a cacophony of despair. I remember running, following the frantic crowd, seeking the elusive safety of indoors. In those moments of chaos, my mind raced. I was a software engineer, not a soldier or a scientist. What could I possibly do against an alien force with technology far beyond our understanding? Yet, there was a burning desire within me to do something, anything, to help. As the days turned into weeks, the initial shock gave way to a grim acceptance. The world had changed, and we were no longer the masters of our planet. Our cities, once bustling with life, were now battlegrounds, scarred by the skirmishes between humanity and our alien invaders. I found myself among a group of survivors, a diverse band of individuals who had lost everything but their will to fight. We shared stories of the lives we once had, and in those moments of vulnerability, I saw the strength of the human spirit unbroken, even in the face of such unimaginable adversity. It was during one of our many discussions that I realized the value of my skills. Perhaps there was a way to use my knowledge of software and technology against the aliens. It was a long shot, but in a world turned upside down, even the smallest glimmer of hope was worth pursuing. So, I began my work, delving into the alien technology we had scavenged. It was like nothing I'd ever seen, a complex puzzle that challenged every bit of my expertise. But I was determined. With each piece of alien tech I decoded, I felt a step closer to finding a weakness, a chink in their seemingly impenetrable armor. Night after night, I worked tirelessly, fueled by the hope that my efforts could turn the tide in our favor. The task was daunting, but I couldn't give up, not when so much was at stake. And then one day, we made a breakthrough, a discovery that would change everything. It was our first real chance to fight back, to reclaim our world. Little did I know, it was also the beginning of a journey that would lead me to question everything I believed about war, survival, and the very nature of humanity. In the weeks that followed the alien arrival, life as I knew it had been irrevocably altered. The city that once bustled with the noise of daily hustle was now a shadow of its former self, scarred by the ongoing conflict between us and them. Amidst this new harsh reality, I found a purpose that went beyond lines of code and software algorithms. Our group, an eclectic assembly of survivors, became my new family. We were a diverse mix: teachers, mechanics, doctors, and people from every imaginable background, united by a common goal: survival. We shared stories, skills, and the little food we scavenged, creating a bond forged in the crucible of adversity. My role in the group evolved as we learned more about our alien adversaries. Utilizing my skills as a software engineer, I became an unexpected asset. I spent days and nights tinkering with alien technology we had managed to recover, trying to understand their language, both literal and technological. The breakthrough came when I discovered their vulnerability to certain sound frequencies. It was like finding a secret key to an impenetrable lock. I pored over this discovery, developing a device capable of emitting these frequencies. I had never imagined my coding skills and knowledge of sound waves would become our greatest weapon. Our strategy was simple yet audacious. We planned to infiltrate one of their smaller ships using the sound device as our primary weapon. The risk was monumental, but the potential reward of turning the tide in this war spurred us on. The night of the operation was tense. We moved through the ruined city, a ghostly silhouette against the backdrop of destruction. Reaching the alien ship was a feat in itself, evading their patrols and surveillance. The ship was a marvel of technology, its surfaces smooth and cold, illuminated by an eerie, otherworldly glow. Activating the device was a moment of truth. The effect was immediate and dramatic. The aliens, so formidable and fearsome, were crippled by the piercing frequencies, their advanced armor and weapons rendered useless. In that chaotic moment, as we fought our way through the ship, I felt a surge of hope, a belief that we could actually win this war. Yet, amidst the euphoria of our small victory, there was a nagging feeling in the back of my mind. I couldn't shake off the image of the writhing aliens affected by our weapon. They were the enemy, but in their agony, I saw a reflection of ourselves beings fighting for survival. Our return was met with a mix of celebration and disbelief. We had done the impossible, struck a blow against a seemingly unbeatable foe. But as I lay awake that night, the weight of our actions weighed heavily on me. We had fought back, yes, but at what cost? And what would be the consequences of our newfound ability to harm these alien invaders? As the days passed, our tactics became more refined and our attacks more bold. But with each encounter, the lines between us and them began to blur. Were we fighting for survival, or were we becoming the very thing we feared? Our newfound weapon against the aliens had given us a glimmer of hope, a sense of power in a situation where we had felt utterly powerless. As the leader of the technical team, I was at the forefront of planning our next move. We had proven that the aliens weren't invincible, and that knowledge fueled our determination. The group's morale was higher than it had been in weeks, but so were the stakes. We decided to target the main alien ship, a colossal structure that loomed over the city like a dark, unyielding storm cloud. It was the heart of their operations, and we believed that crippling it could end the invasion. The plan was straightforward but fraught with danger. We would infiltrate the ship, deploy our sound frequency device at its core, and escape before the aliens could regroup. It felt like a plot from a science fiction novel, yet here we were, turning fiction into reality. The night of the operation arrived, thick with tension and unspoken fears. We moved stealthily, using the ruins of the city as cover. The ship was heavily guarded, its surface shimmering with an alien energy that was both beautiful and terrifying. Breaching the ship's interior was like stepping into another world. Corridors stretched out in geometric precision, illuminated by an eerie, pulsating light. The air was thick with a sense of foreboding, yet we pressed on, guided by the singular goal of disabling the ship. When we activated the device, the effect was more devastating than we had anticipated. The ship convulsed as if in pain, its walls resonating with the crippling sound. The aliens, caught off guard, were overwhelmed, giving us a precious window of opportunity. In the midst of the chaos, a moment of clarity struck me. Amidst the alien bodies writhing in pain, I saw a reflection of fear and desperation not unlike our own. In their eyes, I recognized the universal instinct to survive. It dawned on me that these beings, so alien in appearance and technology, were not so different from us in their struggle for existence. We made our escape as the ship began to collapse, a monumental victory at an unimaginable cost. As we emerged into the night, the city around us was eerily silent, a stark contrast to the turmoil we had just left behind. In the days that followed, the alien presence diminished. Our bold attack had turned the tide, sparking a series of victories across the globe. The world rejoiced, hailing us as heroes who had saved humanity from extinction. But I couldn't share in their joy. The image of the suffering aliens haunted me. In our quest for survival, had we lost a part of our humanity? I had fought to save my species, but at the cost of another's. The line between savior and destroyer blurred in my mind, leaving me to wonder if we were the heroes of this story or just another facet of an endless cycle of fear and aggression. As the world began to rebuild, I grappled with these questions. The war had changed us all, and I knew that the echoes of our actions would resonate far into the future, a reminder of the delicate balance between survival and destruction. In the aftermath of our victory, the world slowly began to piece itself back together. Cities were rebuilt, families reunited, and life started to regain a semblance of normalcy. But the scars of the war ran deep, not just on the streets and buildings, but within the hearts and minds of those who had lived through it. As for me, I returned to my job as a software engineer, but the office walls felt more confining than ever. My colleagues celebrated our victory over the aliens, but I found no joy in their words. The memories of the conflict, especially those final moments aboard the alien ship, lingered in my mind, casting a shadow over the present. I became a hero in the public eye, the man who had cracked the alien technology and turned the tide of the war. But that recognition felt hollow. Inside, I was grappling with the moral implications of our actions. We had saved humanity, but at what cost? In our desperate struggle for survival, had we lost a part of what made us human? The city's streets, once filled with the chaos of war, were now quiet, but to me, they echoed with the unseen presence of those we had defeated. I found myself walking those streets at night, lost in thought, trying to make sense of it all. The smiling faces of passers-by seemed like a stark contrast to the haunting visions that plagued my dreams. In those dreams, I saw the aliens not as invaders, but as beings driven by the same instinct to survive that had driven us. They had come to our world, perhaps out of necessity, only to be met with relentless hostility. In their final moments, had they felt the same fear and despair that we had? The celebration of our victory eventually faded, but the questions remained. I realized that the war had changed us in ways we were only beginning to understand. It had shown us the lengths to which we would go to protect our world, but it had also revealed the darkness that lay in the heart of our species, a willingness to destroy completely that which we did not understand. As I write this, I wonder about the legacy of our actions. Will we learn from this experience and strive towards a future where fear does not drive us to such extremes? Or will the echoes of this war fade into history, only to be repeated in some other form, against some other unknown threat? I don't have the answers, but I hope that by sharing my story, I can inspire others to reflect on these questions. We have been given a second chance to define what it means to be human in this vast, mysterious universe. It's a chance I hope we won't squander. The war is over, but its echoes linger, a constant reminder of the delicate balance between survival and humanity. In the end, we may have saved our world, but the true challenge lies in saving ourselves from the echoes of our own actions.